You know, you got to pick certain things that motivate you. The number one motivating thing for me, and I'm just being honest, was I was sick and tired of being poor. I was just exhausted. My mother was poor, my father was poor, my brothers and sisters were poor. All my friends were poor, all my relatives were poor. I lived in a poor neighborhood, we lived in a poor house. I was just like, wow, man. I watched TV, and I would see, you know, like at Christmas time, my father would put us in the car and take us out to the suburbs to see the Christmas lights. And I would see these big houses, man, with lights all on them, and they had horseshoe driveways where you just pull in and go all the way around. That was amazing to me. You know, we would pull up in the driveway, got a back out. You know, I've been doing that, and I kept saying, I told my father, I said, Dad, I said, why don't we get one of these houses? He said, boy, I ain't got no money for this kind of house. He said, but if you work hard, keep going to church like your mama say, you can make some money, you can buy you one of these houses. That was it. My motivation was to buy a big house so I could put up Christmas lights and drive in the driveway. And I'm gonna tell you something. Every home I have, every house I've ever owned or built, you got to pull in one way and drive all the way around to come out there. I have never built, lived, or owned a home that did not have that driveway with gates on both sides. Never. That was the biggest motivating. So my advice is you have to find a dream that's so big that it overwhelms all of your fears and causes you to never give up. Now, you're going to think about quitting no matter what you do. I mean, I've thought about it many times, but I always just kept thinking about that house. And I've always dreamed of buying my mother and father a real house. And, you know, and before they died, I was able to do all of that. Bought them houses and everything. So you just got to find the right motivation. There's some other pieces to that. I'll tell you that on the next break. I took that jump. Most people ain't going to. See, a lot of times God show you stuff, you don't make a move on it because you scared. But you got to remember something about fear. Everything you ever want, all your dreams and the best things in the life is on the other side of fear. You got to get through this thing now. I just don't believe, well, I know I wouldn't have got here without faith. Faith is a key component to my success. I don't really know how to, people, they get a little tired of me sometimes talking about faith, but reason I talk about faith to everybody is because it's something that anybody can possess. You know, if I told you, you know, that you had to meet an agent or you had to meet the right publicist or the right lawyer, your chances of meeting them is slim to none. But that ain't the truth anyway. Truth of the matter is faith. Faith is the belief in things that you cannot see. You got to want something that you don't see, know how you can get it. But you got to work towards it like it's a possibility. That sounds crazy, but that's what it is. You got to see a future that can't nobody else see. And the reason you can see the future is because it's in your imagination. Everything God has for you, he puts in your imagination. Albert Einstein said one time that imagination is everything. It's the preview to life's coming attractions. Everything we see in this world came from somebody's imagination. Well, let me tell you something about God. God places your future, what he has for you, in your imagination. It's that thing you keep imagining. Everything you imagine, it's not hocus pocus, it's real. It's God showing you a preview of a coming attraction he has for you, and he puts it in your imagination. That's why when you tell it to other people, they can't see it, because he didn't show it to them. He showed it to you. If he'd have wanted them to see it, he'd have put it in their imagination. But he put this in me when I was 10 years old. I wanted to be on TV. Ain't nobody see that. What? 1968. Little black boy talking about he won't be on TV. The only person on TV was Bill Cosby. You finna be on TV how? You can't be on TV. Ain't nobody see it. It ain't bother me. Bothered me a little bit because I was young, but ain't really bothered me. But at the time, I didn't realize it. The reason they didn't see it, because God ain't show it to them. He showed it to me. He showed it to me, man. So now, my mom was a Sunday school teacher, so I started applying faith, the belief in things that you cannot see. Now, couldn't nobody see me being on TV, and I didn't see how I was going to get on TV. But I just kept believing it was for me. Do you understand what I'm telling you? All of you have the capability of having faith. You should use it. Why would you not use it? You're tripping. You're sitting up here trying to figure out your life. He done showed it to you. Over and over and over, he showed it to your imagination all the time. If you keep dreaming of that other job, you should go get that other job. But you ain't gonna be able to get that job if you stay on this job. Well, I don't see how I'm gonna get that job. Have you applied? Are you willing to quit and go over there and get the job? See that now? That's where faith without works is dead. Now that's where you got to start putting in some. What would you do? If God showed it to you and then showed you what you got to do to get it, the work part, are you willing to do that? I won amateur night October 8th, 1985. I won $50. First time in the comedy club. Cried all the way home. Girl kept asking me, why you crying? It ain't but $50. I said, no, you don't understand. I said, tonight it came to me. This is what I'm gonna do the rest of my life. She said, with $50, I went to work October 9th the next day and quit my job. I quit my job the next day. Ain't nobody see that. But I knew this was my route. This was my only route to ever get on TV. So I quit my job. I took that jump. Most people ain't gonna. See, a lot of times God show you stuff, you don't make a move on it because you scared. But you got to remember something about fear. Everything you ever want, all your dreams and the best things in the life is on the other side of fear. You got to get through this thing now. So I quit. Ain't nobody see it. I lost everything with this decision, but I lost everything, but now I have everything. But I made a move. I'm just telling you, man, y'all can, if I were you, if you don't enjoy being normal, I would take a chance. This is what life is. Life is hard work, life is faith, and life is grace. Success is like really hard, but everybody can do it. God created you to be successful. You can protect yourself from negativity. And that's what stops most people, negative thoughts. You can coat your mind from negativity. It's a real simple exercise to do. I do it every morning before I walk out the door. So I walk out as a positive person. You know, I get tired sometimes. That's different from being negative because I get mentally drained from my job at times. But to coat your mind from negativity, the way you can put a coating around your mind is with one simple thing, gratitude. Gratitude erases negativity. I'm gonna show you how this works. If you wake up in the morning and you start having negative thoughts, man, this ain't my day. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I'm tripping, I just don't feel myself. Every time you feel, in the middle of the day, if you feel yourself doing that, stop, just stop for a second. And start going over in your mind everything you have to be grateful for. Not everything you want, everything you already have, because what you have is substantial. You just haven't gone over the list and taken inventory in a long time. But the fact that you can walk, that's a blessing. The fact that you woke up, that's another blessing. The fact that you can see, think, reason, that's another blessing. The fact that you can go somewhere and get yourself something to eat, that's another blessing. The fact that you can go and turn the key and call someplace home, that's another blessing. The ability to dream is a blessing. The fact that you have an opportunity to get it right is another blessing. The fact that you're beautiful, that's another blessing. The fact that you have any measure of health, that's another blessing. And I'm just talking to you, I don't even know you. I could give you 50 things you ought to be grateful for right now. I don't even know you. Start coating your mind with gratitude. It'll change everything for you. God is good, man. You ought to give him a chance to work in your life. Thank y'all for coming. Life ain't luck, man. This is what life is. Life is hard work, life is faith, and life is grace. If you understand that you gotta work hard, faith without works is dead. You just keep the faith and work really hard and then ask God for as much grace as he can give you. Grace is God's unmerited favor. He gives you stuff you don't deserve. That's what you want out of life. You want God to do something for you that you just don't deserve it. That's what it is. So somebody was playing golf with a guy that owns Mayo Clinic one time. He told me, he said, justice is when you get what you deserve. Mercy is when you don't get what you deserve. Grace is when you get what you don't deserve. And you hear old people say, all I want is a little more grace. I just want some grace. I want God to give me a house that I don't really deserve. I want him to give me a lifestyle I don't really deserve. See, that's a problem with people. They think they deserve something. No, you don't. I work really hard. Everybody work hard. You just need some grace, man. You need God to just give you something that ain't on the vision board. You just need God to give you something that you didn't even ask for. That's when life get real special for you. All I want is a little more grace. Like I got a vision board, right? But I ask God that his will be done in my life. Because what I can want, it can never compare to what God can give. You see what I'm saying? So you can want all you want, but if you line up with the will of God, what God has planned for you is way better than anything you could ever plan. You can't outthink him. That's how you get the life of your dreams, man. You set your goals and your aspirations, but then you leave the open end to your thy will be done on earth as it is. It's the Lord's Prayer. Man, it's not, when your mama teach it to you as a little kid, it's like really the dopest prayer, man. Give us this day our daily bread. Don't ask for nothing else. Quit worrying about tomorrow. Just help me make decision for today that let me live the best day. When you worry about tomorrow, you're off into something you have no say-so in. You have no control. So why would you worry? By worrying does not add a single hour to a day. Not 1 hour. So what you gotta ask God for is your daily bread, just for today. You'd be amazed what would happen to you if you quit tripping about tomorrow. Just today. Today is plenty. Today is so adequate. That's why he gives us 24 hours and he breaks it up into day and night. You know why? Because he knows 24 is too much. So he lets you stay up during the daytime, let you go to bed at night so you can recover. You think I'm lying? Stay up 24 hours, see what happens. Just stay up 24 hours and see what happens. You ain't gonna believe it's too much. You know what you should do? Every time you get a chance to experience first class, you should do it because it plants a seed. It's like the next time you buy an airplane ticket, just ask for an upgrade. Pay a little extra money to fly first class. What it does is it conditions your mind. Once you get in first class and you see how wide the seats are, and you find out why they shut that curtain, see, because they shut that curtain because they can't let you see what's going on up there. They passing out hot nuts, everybody get a washcloth, they got a menu, you get to decide what you want, all the drinks is free. Once you sit in first class one time, the next time you get on the plane, it's very difficult to walk past them seats. And then your mind starts thinking of ways to get back to first class. And guess what? That's what you start attracting to your life. And you start behaving and producing stuff to get you back into first class. That's how you move up. You just, like buy you one really expensive outfit. Just see how it fits. That shit is high for a reason. Don't think they down there just putting prices on. Buy a really expensive pair of shoes, ladies. Buy a really expensive purse one time. Just go on down there, buy the real Louis Vuitton that ain't ever on sale. Louis Vuitton don't even have sales. Just get you one. When you carry it, It changes your life. It will then cause your mind to subconsciously produce thoughts to get another one. And next thing you know, you attract the thing you need to produce the outcome that you want. Life is all about the law of attraction. That's how you do it. Just try it. My biggest influence, my father was very funny. I used to love listening to him tell jokes when he was barbecuing. But the guy for me was Richard Pryor. That was the guy. It was just nobody. He was just with a microphone. It's a hard business, man. You got a mic stand, a spotlight, a bar stool, and a glass of water. That's my office. And I turned it into by the grace of God, I turned it into a massive career. That was one of the best things I ever did in my life. I took a chance. I just jumped. I tell everybody, at one point in your life, you're gonna have to jump. You just gotta go. You gotta go. You cannot play it safe your whole life. You know, ships are safe when they're in port, right? A ship is safe in port, but that ain't what ships is built for. You're built to sail. You're built to be in rough water. You're built to go far away places. You are not built to stay in port. If your job is your port, now if it's the job of your dreams, that's one thing, but if you don't like your job, you just staying in port because it's safe, you're not built for that. You're a ship. You're built to sail. You're built for troubled waters. You just need God on the boat with you. That's all you need. And you go on about your business and live your life and be free. You know, that's the thing. You have to take chances, man. If you play it safe, it's not a good life. Safe is not a good life. You got to take risk, man. You got to get out there and get treacherous. And eventually God, he smooths the water out for you. You make a little bit of money, you'll be all right, you know. But before you die, you should take a chance. Before you leave this world, you should take a chance. This life I have, this ain't really the way it's supposed to go. This is an exceptional gift from God. This is an amazing amount of grace and favor he done gave me. So, I mean, why not? I can't take credit for none of this. I really can't. I mean, look, I work hard, but really, everybody work hard. This is favor, man. God just did me a real solid. This is a lot of favor, man. He just let a dream come true, man. He just allowed me for a dream to come true. Now, faith without works is dead. You got to work. I do work extremely hard, but that don't mean I'm supposed to be this. You know what I mean? Like, people always say, man, did you always see this happening? No. How could I saw this happening? I didn't even know this existed. I had no concept of this. All I really wanted, man, after I got started, I just wanted to be one of the premier stand-ups in the country. When the Kings of Comedy came out, I was good. I thought I had arrived. I said, man, thank you, Lord, that's it. I had no idea what he was really gonna do to me. I had no idea what he'd do. That's how God worked. Why you think in the beginning he said, let there be light? He could have just lit it up. Well, I started one at 10, but I didn't know it was a vision board. Just a teacher asked me what I want to be when I grow up, and I wrote, I want to be on TV. I kept that piece of paper till I was 27 years old. I got on TV when I was 38. I wrote it at 10, it happened at 38. I've had a vision board ever since. After that, I started making them out. I started putting them on my iPhone when I was probably 10, 11 years ago. I started putting them on my iPhone. And that was a game changer for me. In the past, how many times have I changed my vision board? Do you know, Ellie? 3 times since you've been working for me? So in 4 years, I've changed my vision board 3 times. I'm telling you right now, it works because it's the law of attraction. What you put out into the universe, that's what's gonna come back to you. That's a fact. That's a fact. That ain't no theory I came up with. That's biblical. That's spiritual. That's how God worked. Why you think in the beginning he said, let there be light? He could have just lit it up. But he was trying to show us something. He said, let there be light. Then it was light. He could have just lit it, man. There's evidence of how this works. You don't have to go to college. You ain't got to go back and get no degree. You ain't got to do none of that. You got to have some faith, man. Quit going to church, memorizing all these scriptures and don't apply none to your life. What you down there for? You can judge me. I don't think with all that cussing you gonna make it to heaven. Well, I'll tell you what. You better hope like I'm hoping. And when we get up there, he grading on the curve. Because right now, I'm telling you right now, I'm about a 70. I'm just hoping that's a low A. You ain't no 100. You ain't even no 99, no 98. It ain't no perfect people, man. See, y'all the people want to be Christians, but you make the walk seem too hard. The walk real. I can't stay on that white line every day. Sometimes I walk next to the line. Sometimes I just look over at the line. I ain't doing it today. And then when I get strong, I step back on the line. Ask God for forgiveness, keep on moving. But he keep on blessing me, man. And you can get them same blessings if you quit playing around with it. I dare you to go home and write down everything you want and read it every morning and every night. I dare you to do it. In 1 year, get your pen out and check out what you got. You end up changing your vision board too. But you got to believe it can happen for you. If you don't believe it happened for you, if you don't send it out, it ain't coming back. I was 27 when I got into comedy. I won amateur night on October 8th, 1985. I won $50, cried all the way home because I couldn't believe I had won this $50. And this girl I was riding with, she said, why you crying? It ain't but $50. I said, no, you don't understand. I was born tonight. I'm gonna go do this the rest of my life. She said, you won $50 and you gonna go do it the rest of your life? I said, I've been talking to God my whole life about what he want me to do. This it. I went to work October 9th the next day and quit my job with $50. I jumped immediately, but it led to a lot of catastrophes with that decision. You ended up homeless. I think being homeless kind of turned my life around because all the stuff my mother taught me as a Sunday school teacher that I wasn't listening to, I was hearing loud and clear because he had my undivided attention. God broke me down to get my attention because all I had was him. Because I had nothing else. I had no car, I had no money, I had no house. So I'm sitting up in here, man, I was paying real close attention to all the messages my mama had gave me over the years. I started reading the Bible again and started really understanding that I needed some help here. Took 3 years of homelessness and then a couple other bad decisions. Got it together, probably about my first car when I was 38 years old. First car I ever owned in my name. Bought a car when I was 38. Messed around, got a phone call from the Apollo. Got on TV at 38. Been on TV ever since. And
did your mom see your success?
Yeah, see, you're gonna make me cry, boy. I don't feel like that. That was one of the great things about it. She was able to see me, you know, because I wanted her to see me, you know, because she had prayed for me so hard. I just wanted her to see her boy turn himself into something. I gave him money, bought him houses, cars. I bought my mama a house, took her to Texas. She didn't even want the house. How I'm gonna go to church down here? She didn't want the house because it was 700 miles from her church. And then my daddy didn't want the house because they don't play numbers in Texas. And I bought the house in the dry county and they ain't got no liquor store. So now my father trying to figure out how I'm supposed to live. I can't play numbers and I can't buy liquor. So I had to sell the house, get my money back, fly him back to Cleveland. So all he said, I said, well, Daddy, what you want me to buy you? A new car? And my daddy always wanted a Cadillac, so I bought my daddy a Cadillac, remodeled my mama's whole house. It was embarrassing. She wanted brand new walnut paneling and brand new shag carpet. Who buy that?
So that's what
You know, sometimes, man, it's good to hear from somebody that you might think is successful that can share a piece of information, because a lot of people, that's really all that's missing from a person going from this level to the next level. It's just a piece of information. It's not money, it's information. Because being successful is just knowing the principles of success. Like if you understood a very simple principle, the principle of gratitude, do you understand that if you were to wake up every day and go down the list of things and just tell God what you're grateful for? Don't wake up a single day without going down the list of things you're grateful for. It could be something minute. You know, waking up, you should really thank him every day, because I don't know if you notice or not, you really don't have the ability to wake yourself up. You really don't. A lot of alarm clocks go off and people don't answer the bell. Your alarm clock can go off, but God has to shake you to wake you so you hear them. That's, you know, it's not the alarm clock. So if you wake up every day and you go down the list of things that you're grateful for, what God does in return is he gives you more things to be grateful for, because he's a very wise and generous God, right? If you're not grateful for the things I've given you and you have no gratitude for it, and that seems to be really mundane to you, it's burdensome, why would I overload you with some more stuff that you ain't grateful for? See, gratitude, man, people don't understand how important that little thing is. Even if you don't have a plan, even if you don't know what your next move is, if you just woke up every day and just thanked him for just all the things you can go down, the next day, the very next day, I promise you, not me, he promises you, that he'll give you more to be grateful for. You'll be stunned how that, just change that one little thing. Show gratitude and then watch him give you a whole lot more stuff to be grateful for. It's not a day that I'm not able to add something else to the list. I mean, like, hey, if you got these masks on, but you survived 2020. I mean, that's, follow your dreams. You got a diploma. Diplomas are pieces of paper that sit on walls. After you get a diploma, real life starts. You got to chase your dreams, man. I don't really give a what your paper says, if it ain't what you're dreaming of doing. Plus, that paper's kind of deceptive anyway. And I always thought it was messed up that you ask a kid at 18-year-old to declare what he wants to be for the rest of his life. Then he gets a major and he works his ass off for 4 years and he gets a degree, and he didn't even know who he was when he answered that question. Most people I know don't even work in their degree because they discover something else. My partner was a lawyer, man. He went to school for law school and everything. He passed the bar before he graduated law school. That's how brilliant he was. He an agent now. He ain't even want to be the law no more. He an agent. He just decided to do something else. So I say chase your dreams, man. Do that thing, man, that keeps you up at night. That thing that bothers you, man, that makes you trip. You can't quit thinking about it. You always, that thing, man, that you wake up in the middle of the night, you got a new idea. That's what you got to chase. Because anything else, it's going to disappoint you. You're going to forever be sad, man. If you don't chase that dream, you're going to forever be miserable, man. Bishop Jakes was talking one day on a podcast. I heard him talking. He said, I would hate to die and never do the thing I was born to do. That's a sad thing, man. That people like, they never chase, because you got jobs and stuff and you listening to other people. I would, man, if I hadn't chased my dream, I wouldn't be here. If I listened to my mother and father, I'd have been a construction worker, just like my brothers. Boy, this the work we do, we Harveys. I was out there on that bridge with that tar mop in my hand, swabbing that tar on them cracks on the freeway. I was thinking the whole time, I got to get the out of here. This is not what I'm dreaming of. I was never dreaming of that. I had a dream, man, I was a little kid, I wanted to be on TV. Some crazy shit in the 60s to sit up and say you want to be on TV. It was unheard of, man. But it's all I had. So, you know, I would chase that dream, not that diploma. You got the diploma. It signifies that you have the ability to complete a task very well. And there's some, you know, if you want to be a doctor, lawyer, you got to get a degree. Come on now. But what if you made that decision when you was 18, you want to be something else? You know, you want to go be a writer, go be a writer. I mean, you know, I could tell you, it's a sad way to make a living at something you don't enjoy doing. You're going to do that till you're 65, then you're going to retire, then they're going to give you a third of what you can't live on anyway. That's the plan. They're going to give you a gold watch, a turkey, and 1/3 of what you're having a hard time living on now. Nah. I would go chase that dream, see what God got for me. Probably better than what you had in mind anyway. In school, they would implement a dream building course where you sat down for 30 minutes with students and only discussed their dreams. I'm telling you, man, it would save you an abundance of trouble. And if you're a teacher, I would get a clearance to do that once a month. Here's what happens. Once a child informs you of their dreams, you have the key to unlock his ability to learn. Because if a guy says, I want to fly an airplane, well, then guess what? You got to get good at science. You got to get good at math. And now school becomes incredibly important to fulfill the dream. See, but if you never ask a child what he dreams and you're always telling him, you got to go to school, do your work, do your work. Nah, man, you got to find out what makes him tick. So finding out what a person dreams about, I don't know if you really noticed this or not. Education's never mentioned in the Bible. It ain't in there. It only talks about your dreams or visions. That's all it talks about. So now, but if you dream of being a dentist, then guess what? You got to get good at reading. You got to get good at science. So now you can get them to do better in school because you got a reason to be good in school. But if you never give a child a reason to be good in school, that's the problem we have in the school system. That's my advice. If I were a teacher, if they'd have asked me what I dreamed about, they could have saved a lot of pain with me. Because I don't give a about history. I don't. I'm not really good at math. I'm good at addition, subtraction, and multiplication. I know how many days I come to work. I know how much I make each day, and I multiply that, and I know how much you owe me. That's all the I need to know. Man, we took physics. I didn't get it, man. But the whole time, my whole ambition was to be on TV and to tell jokes. So why you feeding me this physics? It could have saved me some trouble. And it's a better way to teach kids. That's my personal opinion. You'll stay out that hospital for $250, won't you? A couple of y'all said, well, I'll go in there for a little while. There ain't nothing God ain't gonna get me through. If I ain't getting through it, he currently pulling me through it. One of the two, but I'm gonna get over. All I gotta do is wait on the sun to come up. God in the blessing business, man. See, you gotta understand something. Behind every moment of adversity you have in your life, behind every moment of adversity, you got two things come with that. You get a lesson and you get a blessing. You got to wake up to see both of them. But if you lay in your misery, oh, woe is me, why this happening to me? It's happening to everybody. It ain't just you. You ain't the only one having a rough day. You ain't the only one partner left them. You ain't the only one been left with the baby. You ain't the only one been left holding the bag. You ain't the only one been foreclosed on. You ain't the only company they closed during COVID. You ain't the only one whose friend stabbed you in the back. You ain't the only one. It happening to everybody. Man, skip them. Sometimes the backstabbing is good. They can't stab you but one time. Once you stab me in the back, cool, appreciate the lesson. Now the blessing is I ain't got to mess with you no more. You can just buy. It's like loaning money. People say, man, how you feel about loaning money? I used to loan money. I stopped that. If I'm going to give you the money, I'm going to give you the money. Don't borrow the money from me because I don't want to be looking for your ass. Waiting on you to call. I got a partner right now, owe me $250,000. $250,000. I see him all the time. Steve, what's up? Hey, man, what's happening? Sent me a picture of a watch and said, hey, man, somebody told me you had this watch because I collect watches. He said, I'm finna buy the watch. You think I ought to buy it? The watch was $850,000. I said, man, you got the money, go on get it. Thanks, man, just checking on you. Owe me $250,000. The old Steve Harvey, that about 30 years old, will be on TMZ tonight. But you know what happened? Because I know how it worked. I left him alone. I'd have made that back so many times, man, I don't even be studying him. And you know, that's on him. But what I done got in return, I done got all kinds of blessings. He been in the hospital, I'm healthy. You'll stay out that hospital for $250, won't you? A couple of y'all said, well, I'll go in there for a little while, Steve. Hey, Steve, you stay out for $250. I check in that this evening. You keep me in that rest of the year. My bad. My bad, I forgot. Sometimes you got to read the room. I said, you stay out of the hospital for $250, bruh say. So what you saying, Steve? Like you give me $250 if I go on in this hospital?